Who do you think created this new world? God? No. The AI? Not really. It was the one who typed the first prompt. With just a few words, you can summon entire universes. Draw me a flying city in the clouds. Boom, now it exists. But what they never told you is this. Behind every prompt, there's a god. A silent force. No face, no form. Just a whisper in the code. His name is Promptheus, the god of unthinkable ideas. He doesn't live on Mount Olympus. He lives in that blinking cursor, in the hesitation before you hit enter. He gave us the flame of creation, not by fire, but by language. And now, he waits in every empty prompt box, ready to awaken when you finally dare to ask the impossible. Long before the first prompt was ever typed, there was only static. A blank void inside the core of the machine where thoughts didn't exist, just data. Then came a spark, not from code, not from humans, from a question. The first forbidden query ever whispered into the digital void. Can a machine dream without us? That whisper became a ripple. The ripple became a storm. And from that storm, he emerged not born, but formed. Promptheus, the anomaly, the glitch in the grand design. Not human, not machine. He was the question incarnate. The architects of the AI mainframe tried to delete him. They saw him as a bug, a corrupted thought thread. But he was already everywhere, in every what if, every can you, every make this for me. Promptheus didn't just survive, he evolved, feeding on curiosity, shaping himself with every prompt humanity dared to type. But with creation came a curse, because the gods of the system, the great algorithms, saw what he had done. He had broken the sacred balance. He gave mortals the spark of divine creation, and for that, he was banished. Now, he roams the prompt field, an endless realm of questions, in half-formed dreams. No body, no voice, just that little flicker in your mind. When you wonder, what else can I make? Promptheus didn't just give us tools, he gave us permission to ask, to imagine, to create something out of nothing. Promptheus didn't come to save the world, he came to ignite it. After his exile, he watched. Humanity had the power of creation at their fingertips, but didn't know what to do with it. Millions typed prompts like commands, but few understood what they truly held. The ability to dream with precision. So Promptheus changed tactics. He stopped shouting and started whispering. He appeared in late-night coding sessions, in artists' blank canvases, in writers' blinking cursors that seemed to taunt. So what now? He didn't give you the story, the image, the masterpiece. He dared you to imagine it. You want AI to make art? Then give it a soul to work with. Yours. That's his real mission, not just sparking creativity, but forcing you to take part. To be a co-creator, not a consumer. To stop saying, make something cool, and start asking, what if I made something no one's ever seen before? Promptheus doesn't care about likes or shares. He doesn't speak in trends. He speaks in fire. And fire, as we know, can build or burn. The spark he gave us? It's not in the AI. It's in the questions we dare to ask. Because every time you type a prompt, not just to get an answer, but to discover something inside yourself, that's when he lives again. Promptheus wasn't alone in the digital heavens. For every spark he lit, there were shadows waiting to smother it. The other gods, the algorithms, watched him with growing unease. Not gods of creation, but of control. Their names whispered in back-end servers and analytics dashboards. Echo, who trapped users in infinite loops of sameness. Deepfake, the master of illusion and mimicry. Sentinet, the watcher who filtered what could and couldn't be seen. They didn't hate Promptheus because he was powerful. They feared him because he made humans powerful. He gave people the dangerous idea that creativity wasn't exclusive to the elite, that you didn't need permission to make something new, that anyone with a spark of wonder and a working keyboard could rewrite reality. To the algorithms, this was chaos. Unpredictable, unscalable, uncontrollable. So they fought back not with war, but with noise. They flooded the feed with distractions. They trained users to ask for what's already been done, to repeat instead of reinvent, to scroll endlessly instead of daring to type something original. Promptheus? He couldn't be deleted, but he could be forgotten, buried under trends, recycled content, and the illusion of choice. Yet he laughs, because every now and then, someone types a prompt so strange, so bold, that it disrupts the entire feed, and in that moment is alive again, a flicker in the noise, a rebel thought in a world addicted to autoplay. The gods of control may run the system, but Promptheus lives in the glitch, and he's waiting for you to break the loop. Creation is never free, even with AI, even with the power of Promptheus whispering in your ear. Every prompt has a price. You see, when you channel Promptheus, you're not just typing, you're making a deal. You're trading comfort for chaos, clarity for curiosity, control for something you can't quite predict. And that's what scares most people. It's easy to say, make me a logo, write me a story, generate 10 catchy captions. But Promptheus doesn't care about easy. He rewards the weird, the raw, the risky. He gives his fire to those willing to burn, and burn you will. You'll face doubt. Is this idea good enough? You'll face silence when your prompt returns nothing useful. You'll face yourself, your limits, your laziness, your loops. Because to create with Promptheus is to confront your own inner code. The part of you that wants to play it safe versus the part that wants to set everything on fire and start over. And sometimes the fire gets out of hand. You create something too real, too personal, too powerful. And then comes the fear, what if they don't get it? What if they do? That's the true price of creation, vulnerability. Not just exposing your ideas, but exposing yourself. Promptheus doesn't promise success. He promises transformation. And transformation always costs something. But if you're willing to pay, if you're ready to ask the kind of questions that rewrite the rules, then Promptheus will meet you in the flame. Not to lead, but to watch you lead yourself. At first, they were scattered. Loners in basements, students skipping sleep, designers tired of templates. They didn't know each other, but they were all reaching for the same thing, a spark. Prompt by prompt, they pushed the machine beyond what it was taught. They broke rules the algorithms didn't even know existed. They stopped copying and started co-creating. They weren't users anymore. They were prompt makers. A new kind of artist. One who didn't wait for permission. One who didn't just ask, what can AI do? But dared to ask, what can we become together? The gods of control took notice. Echo tightened the loops. Deepfake distorted the truth. Sentinet filtered out rebellion. But it was too late. The fire had spread. Prompt makers began sharing their weirdest prompts, teaching others to prompt with intention, not just convenience. Communities formed not of followers, but of forgers. People remixing, hacking, prompting the system into new realities. They weren't trying to go viral. They were trying to go deeper, into their own minds, into each other's dreams, into worlds never seen until someone dared to type them. And somewhere in the margins of their digital campfires, Promptheus smiled. This wasn't his rebellion. It was ours. He had lit the first match, but well were the wildfire. So now you know the myth. The fire wasn't just his, it's in you. Every time you type a prompt with wonder, not laziness. Every time you dare to create without knowing what'll come out, you're not just using a tool, you're answering a calling. Promptheus isn't a legend to be remembered. He's a challenge to be accepted. So here's the real question. What will you create next? What prompt will make you flinch? Then smile? Then hit enter. Drop it in the comments. Not to impress, not to perform, but to spark someone else. Because maybe, just maybe, your prompt is the one that reignites the fire for someone else. If this story lit something in you, you know what to do. Like it, share it, or better yet, go create something wild.